So I just put the link in the chat, and it's just nearpod.com is what you're going to go to. And then when you're there, you'll see, it'll say students, teachers, administrators, and under students, it'll have join a lesson. And there's a link for a code or a box to put a code in. So I'm going to give you the code, and then you'll get to see, what that student mode looks like.
So if I link into this, I'm not going to lose you, am I?
No, as long as you're in a new tab.
Okay.
Just copy it and paste it into a new tab.
Okay. I have to find the tab.
If you hit Control T, you'll get the tab.
Oh, look at that. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. NearPod.com?
Correct.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen.
Doing the lesson?
Yep. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see the code. I'll also just read the code to you, but I just want you to have it just in case. So the code is IKUCJ.
Is it case sensitive?
Nope. So it's IKUCJ.
Okay. Okay, so do we just put our name in then?
Right. So it'll ask you for your name, and then it has like nickname optional. I don't have the kids put anything in there. I just have them put their regular name. Okay. And then you can hit join session.
Okay, I'm in.
How are you doing, Carol?
Well, it's not opening a new tab for me since you did that share screen.
So you're on full screen? Oh, since I hit share screen? Well, here, I'll stop sharing for a second.
Oh, there it's back. Yeah, I got it.
So you're going to put in your name. And then on the bottom box where it says nickname optional, you don't have to put anything. Just leave that open. And then just hit join session. So Asia's in, Lisa's in.
And just put your whole name or just by first name?
It doesn't matter. You can just put your first name. When it's students, I usually have them put, first and last name just so I know who's who, because it will, good, you're in. Because what it'll do is it will, after we're finished, you can generate reports and get data. So, it's good to have everybody's first and last name. So, what you should be seeing now is it should say NearPod presentation. And what's going to happen is we're in live mode. So I'm going to wind up controlling your screens. So you'll notice if I move my screen, your screen moves to take a poll.
Yes.
And goes back again. Yes. Okay. So in live mode, you are basically controlling all the kids' screens. So, usually I kind of make a little production out of this because, as you control the screens, everybody freaks out. So, I go through just a little game of back and forth with controlling the screens just to kind of get them used to things. So, like I said, I'm going to take you through different things that NearPod can do, and then I'm going to show you how to create NearPods, how to use them as a teacher. But I always think it's helpful to see what a student sees. So we're going to go to take a poll. And, I just did, my favorite summertime sweet treat is, and then, you can click on one of your answers and hit submit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen for a second so you can see what it looks like on my end. Mm-hmm. So this is what it looks like on my end. I see that everybody has answered. I see different answers that people gave. And then what I can do after the poll is I can hit share, and it's going to share the results of the poll with all of you. But it's going to be anonymous. You're not going to see anybody's name on how they answered. You're just going to see the results. So again, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to share the results with you. And now you should have the results shared with you, where we have 33.4% liked water ice, 33.3 liked something else, and 33.3 liked fruit pie. So, but that's, it's a nice way to take just a temperature of the room on how people are feeling without, calling anybody out and hearing, having them say it out loud to you. It's kind of a nice way, but you would be able to see who's feeling a certain way, or just how people are understanding. If people aren't understanding, it's a nice way. So there's all kinds of content that you can add to NearPod. And I'm going to take you through some of the content. So on the next slide, there's going to be a video, and I can choose from my dashboard. Again, I'm going to kind of come back here and share the screen with you so you can see what mine looks like. There's a video, and it's going to ask me, do you want this video to play on everybody's device, or do you just want it to play on my device, which might be the smartboard? So if I'm doing it as a live lesson with the whole class, unless everybody has earbuds in, what you're going to do is, if you have a class of 15 kids, you're going to have 15, it's going to be playing at 15 different, sections, because everybody's going to start it at a little bit different time. So if I'm doing it as a live lesson and I'm doing it up on the smartboard, I have it play just to the device that I'm connected to the smartboard with. And then everybody can watch it there, and then we can move on. But like I said, if everybody has earbuds in, then you can do it. And you'll notice here, it will ask you, do you want to apply these settings for the rest of the lesson on any other videos that you might play or anything like that? So, that's up to you. I'm going to turn it off for this right now. I'm going to let it play on all devices. We're not going to stay here very long. This is just a kind of what Flocabulary is about, but you'll be able to play it on your own. So like, you should be able to hit the play button and play the Flocabulary video. And it's just a basic run of what Flocabulary is. It's 23 seconds. If you want to watch the whole video, let it play through.
So Ron, is Flocabulary part of NearPod now?
So Flocabulary, Flocabulary is a separate entity, but you can embed Flocabulary stuff into NearPod.
So I used to have a membership to Flocabulary. I only paid like $12 a month or something for it.
Right.
I kept it for a couple of years, but I finally gave it up because I didn't use it a lot. But
Right.
Are these Flocabulary YouTubes that you're just getting out there for free, or do we
No,
actually...
so NearPod owns Flocabulary now. NearPod bought it.
Okay, I was wondering. Okay.
But they kept it as two separate entities. However, you can embed all the Flocabulary videos into a NearPod.
I love Flocabulary.
So do I.
I didn't use it enough, and I only
Right,
have so few kids. It didn't make sense to me to keep paying the $12 a month.
Right.
If I wasn't using
But yeah,
it.
so you have all the videos now.
But now we can use it. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
Very cool.
all right. So again, that was just embedding a video. Here is Flocabulary. This is, you can embed a website. So students can, if you click on the picture of Flocabulary, it's going to open up the Flocabulary website. So you could put an external link in a NearPod, have the students click on it, and it will take them out to that link. Like if you wanted to send them to Newsella or ReadWorks or something like that, you could do that by embedding a link into a NearPod lesson. Okay. We're going to move on to the next piece of content you can add. And so these are the PhET simulations. These are by, I believe it's University of Colorado. So similar to what we had with Gizmos, these are different simulations. So I'm going to show you one of the simulations and let you kind of play around with it. Again, this is just their website. I did a link to. And then, so here is the simulation, and this is on friction. And
So this PhET you're showing us right now, that's not part of NearPod. That's just something you also.
No, it's part of NearPod. NearPod has them built in where you can,
Wow.
yeah, you can embed them. So I'm going to share my screen with you, just again, so you can see it's the same as it would look on your screen. And usually what I do is I'll show this to the students so they understand how to do it. But basically you're going to draw a ramp. You know, you're putting like a skateboard ramp in. And then you're putting your person on. And you're looking at how friction plays a part. So you can change the mass of the person. So you can make the mass very large. You can create lots of friction or little friction. And then you can show a bar graph of kinetic energy, potential energy, thermal energy. And you can see it change in real time as the person rides the skateboard. So, you know, you could do this and then on the next slide, ask a question about the simulation they just played with. Again, you can change the different graphs so you can make it like a grid. So if you want to see how high the person goes on the skateboard, you can look at their speed as to where they are on the skateboard. You could turn it into a pie chart of potential and kinetic energy.
Ron, so I noticed that our screen is not showing your screen. So did you switch it off at some point? No. So our screen, I guess, is because we're able to manipulate it. We're not seeing your.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll stop sharing. So I'll let you guys go and.
I can see you though. I don't know how that works.
You were saying
on
this...
my computer.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, on my computer, it's just waiting for me to manipulate it. So I just want to make sure. Did you turn it off or?
No, you should be able to. So go ahead, just play with the simulation for a second, just so you can kind of.
I was just wondering, because if you wanted to do something, like say you were teaching remotely,
right,
and you wanted to demonstrate first before they played with it, is there a way to do that? You do a demonstration, and then they play with it?
It should be through the share. I don't. So
I saw it.
Were you seeing me manipulate the skateboarder and all?
I was.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my computer. On the phone I did, but not on my computer. But maybe it's. I just refreshed to make sure I'm caught up. So.
Here, well, let me try it again just to see.
Okay.
But yeah. So, can you see my skateboarder?
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, I can't. Can you girls see it?
Yes.
Are you seeing Ron's screen on your computer?
And you can see the skateboarder riding the ramp?
No, my skateboard is just sitting there.
How about you, Lisa? Lisa sounds
I can see it.
Okay.
Her audio is different or something.
Now, just clarification, you ladies can see it through his shared screen or through your live presentation? Which one are you seeing it through?
I think I'm seeing it through the shared screen.
Lisa, you're breaking up, Lisa.
I think I see it. I definitely see it because I was following right along with what you were saying.
But are you seeing it through him sharing the screen or through what?
It wouldn't be through NearPod. It would be through my shared screen.
Okay, I'm sorry. So that's okay. That's what I was asking. So if all right, so let me try this again, make sure I'm saying it correctly. So if you're doing a remote lesson and you know how you initially started where it was live, so you're manipulating the student's screen. Would you be, since it's live, the students wouldn't on their computer, they wouldn't see your simulation. It's kind of like they're watching, they would have to watch you. Is that
right? So they would have to be looking at my shared screen.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yep. Yeah, Lisa, you're breaking up pretty bad. You're freezing and breaking up. So again, that's just the simulation, the FET simulation, and there are a bunch of FET simulations. So if we go back, to the university, there's physics, there's chemistry, there's math, and I'll show you those in NearPod. You can also take virtual field trips. So it's like a 360-degree view. So like right now you are on Mount Fuji and you can use your mouse to move around and scroll around and see all different areas of Mount Fuji. So were you able to do that? Use your mouse to scroll around and check out the different views on Mount Fuji?
Yes, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And they have a lot, like you can be, I think you can be on Mars. There are a lot of them. All right, so we'll move along.
Am I clear now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And then there are also 3D models that you have. And so this is the International Space Station. And very similar, you can use your mouse, the wheel on your mouse to zoom into the International Space Station. You can spin it around. You can look at it from all different angles. Again, taking a tour of what it looks like. And this is something you would have to do on your screen, or again, just like we did with the skateboarder, if you wanted to model it for the students, you would have to share your screen if they were remote to let them see, how to go about doing it. But there are a bunch of different models that they have. And again, we'll look at those once we get into NearPod a little more. There are all kinds of videos you can add. You can add directly from BBC, YouTube, all different videos. And again, on my screen now, it's asking me, do I want this video to be able to be played on all the devices or just my device? So I'm going to click all devices. So if you wanted to play the video, you would just click the play button and it's going to play.
What if the world was about people, machines?
So just again, this is a 5-minute video. They did just start, and this is in beta, so it's brand new. But just like Ed Puzzle, where you can embed questions in the video, NearPod allows you to do that now as well. So you can put this video into NearPod and embed questions right along the way as the video's playing.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So now you can be sure that students actually watch the video because they have to answer the questions along the way as the video goes.
That's great.
Yeah, so I just want to mention, you may see me looking off to the side. I'm working with 2 screens, so I'm not like playing Tetris on one screen and doing you guys on the other over here. I just want to let you know.
You know what I noticed too, Ron? I noticed this notes section off to the side.
Yeah, so you can.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, students can create notes about different things along the way, and then you can have the notes sent to your Google Drive, and it kind of saves them into your Google Drive.
That's great.
So here is just a video that I did embed some questions in, so you can give it a try. So it's, again, on my slide, on my side of the NearPod, it's asking me, do I want to play this on all the devices? I'm going to click all. So now you can go ahead and, play the video, and you'll see it's only a minute 53. We're not going to go, you don't have to go through the whole video, but at least get to the first question so you can kind of see what that looks like.
Introducing NearPod. With NearPod, you can make every lesson interactive. Launch lessons your students can't wait to join with collaborative, engaging activities like virtual reality, simulation.
Introducing NearPod. With NearPod, you can make every lesson interactive. Launch lessons your students can't wait
My
to join.
question didn't come up. Oh, I lied. Here it is.
it might look like it goes past a second and then the question will pop up.
Yeah, I think I have a delay in my computer, so I think that's
I
why
don't know
it
if
took
I
a second.
answered it right. I said, oh,
Yeah, I said the same thing. I was so excited about the technology, I didn't pay attention to the video.
Right. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see what it looks like on my end right now. So on my end, I see the question, I see all the answers, and I see the percentages of who selected what. And I can also click on the box here to see who answered which question and how they answered. So the pie chart just shows me the percentages. This shows me who answered what. And then you can share what the correct one was, which you see was simulations. So Asia, you got it correct. Good job.
Oh, good.
I was thinking hands-on experiments. I don't even know why I picked that because there's no hands.
Yeah, me too. And then
I threw that in there for that reason. So that just shows me in real time who's got the answers correct. So that way I can go back and maybe even talk about what happened in the video, why one answer was correct over the other. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and let us move on. So you can also add audio files. You can add PDF files. Desmos is a math program, I think more geared for like middle school and high school. It graphs, like algebraic equations and all, but you can add Desmos in there. I don't know a lot about Desmos just because I'm not a middle school math teacher. Probably wasn't even a good middle school math student. And then you could also, if you want, instead of using a video that's already been created, you could create a video in like WeVideo. You could upload it yourself and have questions embedded in there. So it doesn't have to be just videos that they've created. You can create your own videos. Now, there are also activities that you can add in to NearPod. And like this is a game called Time to Climb. And we're going to do underwater. So you should pick a character and hit start when you load in, I'll hit start waiting for you to begin to play. So Asia's in. I like the penguin, Carol. Nice.
do I have to hit start too, or?
I think I will hit start.
Okay, because I picked a penguin.
Oh, then hit start. Go ahead.
Okay.
I wasn't sure about that. Yep, there you are.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. So you're going to get a question. And then when you submit your answer, and there's a countdown timer.
I have no idea.
It's
This is a
millions.
guess?
And then you see your character run up the hill. And then we get another question. Can you add a flip grid? Yep. Flip grid's one of the things you can embed as well. Carol, you're kicking butt on this.
Can you add games that are just like social games?
Wait, I made this game, so you can make it
You
whatever
made
you
this
want.
game?
Well, I made the questions.
Because one of my challenges when I was remote teaching was, to think of enough kind of fun little social activities for them to do.
Right.
So can you do like videos with your characters in them? That would be, like little games. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, you can create the questions
Uh-huh.
and have them play these games.
Yeah, this is really cool.
So Ron, okay, so if you're teaching remotely,
Yep.
you're going through your presentation just like you did, it was game time, you pick your character. So you give them, so basically they're playing while you're doing the lesson. Like this
Yep.
is a portion of your lesson. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So it's just a nice breakup to just watching a video or reading. Like this is a good way to do like a formative assessment as you're going through your lesson.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, how'd you pass me? Now, is this like Kahoot where if you answer faster, you go farther?
I don't believe so. I think it's just the questions.
Oh, just the questions, okay.
Yeah.
See
So
my
there you go.
competitive nature.
Lisa wins.
All right, Lisa. Woohoo! I should have picked
Very
the penguin.
cool. I like that a lot, Ron.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
cute.
it is. It's a pretty fun game, and there are different games that you can add. They have fill in the blanks that you can do.
So this is just a pulling.
You just drag your answer to the question or to the blank space.
Oh, we're supposed to be doing this?
You can. I mean, you don't have to. I just wanted to give you an opportunity. I mean, you know how fill in the blanks work.
That's pretty cool.
Um,
So I like this because, like you said, it breaks up the normal instructional routine.
Yep.
So you can.
And again,
I mean, that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that kind of. I know there's a question of having students on the computer for a long period of time, but if you're breaking it up with instruction, with some game time, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, at the end, once we finish this, I'll show you you can run a report and get all the data of who answered what, all of that. And it'll email it right to you, to your school email.
Now I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Can you see if students, you probably can't. I was going to say, can you see if students have opened another tab and are doing something else?
That I don't believe you can. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a drawing tool. Like, you could put something in here and you could ask them to draw something. You could also have a document that they draw, circle certain answers, and you'll be able to see that. But I just wanted you to get a, chance to see what it looks like. So
you can actually put images on your drawing.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, click on it.
This is like perfect for an idea that I had. I was going to read this book, It's Okay to Be a Unicorn, and then I was going to give the kids a cutout of a unicorn and have them decorate their own unicorn that represents them.
Yeah.
But they actually put skateboarding and things like pictures of that right on the unicorn picture.
Yeah.
With this.
Yeah.
And then print it out.
When you're done, hit submit. When you're done your drawing, and then I'll show you another feature, which is kind of neat. Carol, book creator that I'm going to talk about tomorrow.
Right.
Maybe something even better for you with the unicorn project.
Oh, really?
We can talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an idea for how I was going to do it, but I was just going to do a paper, but I like this better. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to do. I want to give everybody a unicorn and have them decorate it like that, what they would look like if they were a unicorn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a book about, like acceptance and differences, accepting people who are different and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a cool book. I got some really cool books this summer. That's what I always do every summer as I shop for books. I'm coloring over here.
Here's one of the cool things. So like Lisa submitted, I can now share it and it should pop up on your screen. Lisa's design, but notice Lisa's name is nowhere on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way
That's really cool, Lisa. I like it.
That's a good drawing. You did good.
Yeah, for using like a trackpad or a mouse, that's
Yeah,
pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
good.
Yeah, so again, no students being called out. You can, what I like it for is I can show some really good answers, but I can also show something that maybe missed the mark without calling that student out specifically.
Can you share your screen for a second, Ron, so I can
Yeah,
see what that
Absolutely.
looks like?
Can you type in there? Could you do like, or is it just hand drawing? There were
I
no.
typed.
You can
Yeah,
type.
you can type.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so here's what it looks like on my end. It has your Lisa's name. So like if I close it, this is what it looks like.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
And then I can move through them and say, all right, I want to share Asia's because she did type. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And you can see there's Asia. She typed the word desert. She added an image in. And again, her name's nowhere on it other than on my screen.
Cool. I like that.
Like I said, I like that just for being able to point out something that may have missed the mark, something that really worked. Now, the one thing I usually will tell everybody is it's anonymous. It's anonymous for a reason. So if your thing comes up, don't necessarily go, that's mine, because we're keeping it anonymous for a reason.
Right.
We don't want to call anybody out. There's also a collaboration board, which is really cool. And I'm going to share, again, my screen just so you can see, again, what it looks like on my end, because there is a setting. So it says, this is a slide collaborate board. Do you want to approve the posts before they become live? And again, it's going to ask you, do you want to do this for the rest of the sessions or the rest of this session? So it'll keep that setting if you have any other collaborative things in there, and you can choose yes or no. When I'm in a group, like I've usually done no, I don't need to approve the settings or the posts. You kind of have to see. I've never had an issue with it when I've used it.
You have to know the kids too.
Right. You have to know who's going to type something, up, they're different students. So I'm going to hit no for right now. And then again, I'll stop sharing, but you're going to, basically down the bottom, it'll say share thoughts or images. You could search for an image. You can post and click post at the end. You can type something in. So go ahead and just give it a try, and then I'll show you again. You'll see it pop up as people do it. Once you hit post.
What are we supposed to be doing
How
on
do
this?
you
Unless-
upload an image?
So just click right next to where it says post, there's a little picture.
Right? And then
Click on that, and then you can search for an image, hit save, and then post.
Oh, okay. So if I say,
And again, I just put that question up there. It doesn't have to necessarily be that. If you just want to throw something in there just to get an idea of what it looks like, that's fine.
okay. So, say- oh, okay. So
Oh, so you guys didn't put a tip in there. You were supposed to put a tip, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. It doesn't have to be. It could be whatever you want. We're just getting used to it. So, and what you should see on your screen is just a picture of someone meditating and a mountain, but nobody's name with it.
okay.
And then a picture of a ball, and make sure you meet the student's needs. Again, if I share my screen from my end, I see this was Asia's, this was Lisa's, this was Carol's. If I see like Lisa's was inappropriate, I can delete it. You can also, when these pop up, you see these hearts, you can vote on, have students vote on things or give likes, kind of just like they would on social media, liking things. So I use it
That's
for
what
voting
those hearts are
sometimes.
there?
Yep. Yeah, I use it for voting at times for certain things. Especially if they're like doing brainstorming and we're voting on an idea, I like to use that for voting.
Mhm.
So I'm going to stop my share. And you can post more than one, so a student can post more than one. And then you can also, move them around. I'm sorry, you can't move them around. That's in Jamboard. You can move them around. All right, so that's a collaborative board. Again, you can also create matching assignments. Like I said, you can work in a class. You can create quizzes, add open-ended questions, voice recordings, and there is an immersive reader, so it will read to the students. And you could choose, instead of, if it's an open-ended question, you could have students record their answer instead of type their answer. So,
So if you put an article in there, it has a reader that it would read it to the kids?
Exactly. Yep, it has an immersive reader.
So that might work for Nolan.
Could, yeah. Yeah. And that, like I said, there are pre-made lessons that go along with it. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to do everything through the shared screen, because I'm going to show you from the teacher's end how to do things. Okay. All right. So when you finish, if you're doing this live with the students, when you finish, you'll click the little arrow here on NearPod, and you can click reports, and it says an assessment report will be sent to you to your email address. Just click OK. And now I'm going to get an email in a little while with all the data from everything. And then I can also I'll end the session. Students will be logged out. And then this is what the teacher dashboard looks like. I have a few things in there because I've been using NearPod. So this is under my library. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out and log back in just so you can see. I'm going to log all the way out. So again, this is just nearpod.com. Right now, you guys are going to go to, you should have gotten an email earlier today. They came out that for the paid accounts to NearPod, you can log in with Google. And now, because we have a paid account, there's a school library, a district library, your own library. So these are all your lessons. You can create folders. If you're someone who likes to organize your lessons in folders, you can organize your lessons in folders. There are also teacher resources. So like these are all just little webinars that they have. Little instructional lessons, self-guided lessons. Asia signed us up for a webinar on the 8th that is to transform student engagement with NearPod. So it's a webinar that people are going to be already signed up for. And again, that's just under teacher resources. All right. So if you're just starting out, especially at the beginning of the year, maybe it's overwhelming to create your own NearPods. You can go to the NearPod library, and you can go and select your state. So we can go to New Jersey, and I'm going to go with a science lesson and 6th grade. And then I'm going to look for the strand in the science standards that I want to focus on. So it's really great. I already looked at one of develop and use a model to describe how unequal heating and rotation of the earth causes patterns of atmosphere. So I'm going to click on that. And then here are pre-made lessons by people, and it gives a grade level. So if you want to check out a lesson to see like, hey, is this going to work for me? Does it not? You can just click preview lesson. And you're just going to kind of zip through, their lesson and look at what they have. So there's a poll in there. You know, if you like their lesson, all you're going to do is click add to my library. And now that lesson is in your library. So if I go back to my dashboard, here's that lesson already in my library, ready to be used. I can put it in live participation mode or student paced mode. Again, student paced mode, they're just working through it on their own. The other cool thing is I can choose to edit this lesson. So if there are things that I want to take out that that person had in, if there are slides that I want to add, I can do that by just clicking edit. And it's, you know, it's going to tell you you're about to edit the lesson. If you want to keep the original, just hit duplicate. If not, you can just hit edit. I typically try and just keep duplicate it just so that I have the original lesson in case I, you know, mess up or, you know, want to go back to it. So now it's just going to make a copy of it. But from here, it's just basically like a slide presentation that you would put together. These are each of these are the slides in the NearPod. Okay. If I want to add a slide, I'm just going to click add a slide. And then this is where I can add different content. So I could add a PhET simulation. If I want to add one of those, I can look, these are all the different simulations. Here was our skateboard one, but I can go and I can say like, oh, I want an elementary math lesson. And, you know, look at about multiplying. And I can hit preview. So I can get a preview of what the simulation is going to be. So I know, oh, that's going to work for this lesson or it's not going to work for this lesson. Okay. And so this is my PhET simulation. If I don't want that, I can just hit back. If I like that one, I can click done. And now at the bottom, here's that PhET simulation that I just added. And I can move it to anywhere in the slideshow that I want it to go into. You know, so I could choose anywhere to put it. I could also, if I don't want it, I can come up and just hit delete slide, and it's going to delete that slide out. So there's PhET simulations. There are slideshows of different images you could add. You could search a bunch of images, add them in, and it would be a little slideshow within the NearPod. You could add, like I said, the field trip. So you can search what you know, anything you want. You know, underwater. And it's going to search for any of the virtual field trips that are underwater. It's even got Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. So again, you can click it, hit preview, see if this is a simulation that you want. If it is, you can hit done. If not, you can go to back. You can also add an audio file, an MP3 or something like that if you want. You can add those in. Web content, this would be just a website where you want them to go to. You could add that in. This is the Desmos graphing calculator. Again, not something I'm super familiar with in terms of, you know, math, middle school, high school math, but that's what the Desmos are. And PDF you could add in. This is where you can add in the vocabulary videos. And you can search for them by So, Lisa, do you know, what are you teaching this year?
I'm going to be Lisa Conway, so I'm going to be 6th and 7th grade and 8th grade math and
Okay.
6th grade and 7th grade social studies.
Okay. So there's social studies vocabularies, and you know, you can choose different ones. There's also, they have very cool, it's called This Week in Rap, or yeah. So they take current events through the week and do a whole rap about what they are.
Oh, that's
So like
cool.
this is last week.
Mhm. Can't hear anything, but I can see the words.
Oh, you can't hear my, yeah. But it's basically doing a rap to current events.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then these are BBC videos, BBC Worldwide videos. These are the simulations. So again, like you could go to an animal cell and this is a 3D model, you know, and
That's
you
really
can
cool. I could use
move it
that
around.
last
Yeah, I was going to say this would have been perfect for you last year.
year.
But there's, you know, even teaching social studies, you know, there's like the Parthenon, Stonehenge, you know, and places. So just some, you know, they're pretty cool, the simulations.
Oh, that's great. I'll be
And
with
then,
Alex and
what's
Seth.
that?
I'll be with Alex and Seth for those.
Oh, yeah. So that'll be, you know, there are things you can add in. And then video, like I said, this is brand new. They have their own video library that you can look through.
Mm-hmm.
You can look through YouTube for videos. You would just search, or you could upload your own video. You know, so if I did, and I would hit save.
Okay.
So here's the video, and then I watch it and then pause it along the way and hit add activity. So I can put in an open-ended question. I can put in a multiple choice question along the video, you know, anywhere along the video. So
What's vocabulary? Is it taking it one word? I've never used vocabulary.
so vocabulary is basically it's vocabulary or concepts that are set to hip hop music. So it's really for math. I'll go back to the vocabulary just so you can kind of see.
Yeah.
So like with vocabulary, so you can go, like I said, we could go to math, and you know, if you're going to be doing like numbers and operations,
okay,
you know, and they're done to grade level. So like here's multiplying and dividing by powers,
okay,
converting decimals to fractions, and I'm trying to find. No, it wasn't. Like, you know, order of operations is usually like a tough one for kids. So this is all set to hip hop music. But you can't hear it.
No. I have the right idea of what it does, so that's pretty cool.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, so I mean, you can go and you can, like I said, you can play with it to see, but it's all to hip hop.
Okay. I like that it has some pre-set up lessons because, oh my gosh, this has so many avenues to go to. You could spend a lifetime
You
going
can,
through
you know, there's definitely, and then these are the different activities you can add in. So we did time to climb, we did drawing, collaborate board, there's polls, fill in the blanks, there are quizzes. So basically it's just going to come up and you're going to add a question, add your answers, and you can even add audio instructions. You know, like you could upload audio for them to listen to. And then you just add another question. So now you have 2 questions in your quiz, add another question, and you know, they
Do you
can.
have to pause the video as you add your question, like, or how does it know where to put the question?
So it's on whatever, you're putting it on a slide. So the video will go with this question. It'll be embedded with the question.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't need to worry about, like, sometimes if you do it in Google Forms, sometimes it'll mess up the order of the video or the question. This kind of puts it right in there.
Okay.
And there's matching, you know, just typical matching. You would have to create a Flipgrid first, but you could add a Flipgrid in by putting the URL for that Flipgrid for the student and the teacher in, and then that Flipgrid is going to be right embedded in the NearPod.
I forgot what a Flipgrid was.
Flipgrid is like they can do recordings, video recordings, short video recordings.
Okay.
And Flipgrid went through a huge update over the summer where you can now, it can split the screen so you can record yourself and you can be drawing on a screen or typing on the screen and it's split.
Oh, really?
There's a lot that you can do with Flipgrid.
Okay.
And then the collaborate board. And again, like we did, there's different styles. So ours was like a blackboard, but there's like a pegboard. You know, there's all different boards that you could use.
Didn't you do the Post-its or something for the 8th grade graduation?
Yeah, we did that. That was done just in a Google slide.
Oh, okay.
But you know, same idea. And then you just enter the topic, the description there.
Okay.
So again, that's that's taking somebody else's and editing it, and you would just hit save and exit. If you want to preview what it's going to look like, just hit a preview. And then it's just going to take you through just like a student would see it, you know, in the preview.
And how, again, say you take this lesson that you have up in front right now, how do I do it as a whole class on the smartboard, and how do I give it to them personally if I want them to personally work on it again?
Yep. So we go back to our dashboard. You find the lesson that you want to. And if you're going to do live participation, you click on that. And then it gives you a code. You can just assign it right through Google Classroom.
Oh, okay. And that
So
sends it to their personal?
Sends it to their Google Classroom.
Okay.
And they have the link. They just click on it.
Oh.
So, but that's like I said, that's a live lesson.
Okay.
If we want to do it student pace mode, it's the same thing. You just put it into student pace mode. And then, you know, like I require the student submission, like they submit it at the end.
Okay.
And you can even view progress as they're going through
Okay.
after you've assigned it, but you just do it again right to the Google Classroom.
Okay.
How
How does it go to the right class, though?
So once you get into Google Classroom, it'll say share to a classroom, and you choose
Oh,
which one you want it to go to.
okay.
And then it'll say, do you want to make it an assignment? Do you want to make it an announcement? You know, usually it's an assignment. You're not doing it as an announcement.
Right.
And then you would hit go, and then you title it, you give instructions, and then here's the link for them, and you would just assign.
Okay.
And you could, you could make it as many points as you want. You can put a due date on it,
Mhm.
And you can, even when you're here, you can change. Like right now, it's valid from the 27th to the 26th of September. I could change that to make it September 1st. So they only have 4 days to complete it.
Okay.
I just need to make sure that whatever I put here, I do the same in Google Classroom
Oh,
in terms of the due date,
okay.
and then you would just hit apply.
Okay.
If you just want to create your own from scratch,
Mhm.
you can just go to new and then lesson in NearPod.
Okay.
And now you're just at a blank NearPod, no slides or anything in there.
Okay.
And you go back and you add in your own stuff. If you're just adding a slide, you have, just like in PowerPoint or Google Slides, you have how it's going to look. You can change the layout of it so that
Okay.
it's, 4 tiles if you want. You can record yourself. I could just start recording, and here it's recording my voice, and I could be giving my instructions via audio here, and then I can listen back to it. Again, I guess you can't hear it through
No,
there,
I
but
couldn't hear it. But is that
your audio went out. Hold on one second. Go ahead and try. Are you?
wait a
There you go.
second, it's getting sent every which way. Can
Yeah,
you
you're
hear me now?
Yeah, you're a little frozen like you were, but it's better now.
Okay, I got kicked out, so I'm back at students, teachers, administrators. How do I get back in?
Let me stop sharing and
Okay.
see if I reshare my screen.
Okay. Okay.
You're back to okay.
Back in.
So I just recorded it,
Okay,
and then I hit save if I want.
Okay.
So I basically recorded, instructions or whatever it was going to be for the students. Or you can delete it and re-record again if you choose to.
Okay.
So if I did test 1, 2, this is a recording of my instructions for this assignment. Good luck, and remember to click submit at the end. And if I saved it,
Okay.
and then again, I can go to a preview. So this is what it's going to look like for the students. And it's just playing through for me.
Yeah, there's no pictures or anything.
Yeah, I didn't add anything. If I can
Oh, okay.
upload my own pictures, or I can, search for them here. I could put text in here. I could add a video in. I could add a GIF. And again, if I go to preview that's going to pop up in that corner where I put it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just adding a slide. But you can add any of that stuff in there. And then again, back at your dashboard, if you go to save changes, you can also come up here and you can share with other teachers if you want.
Okay.
You can, I don't think we have anything in the school libraries. Yeah, we don't have anything in there yet. But you can have things in the school libraries and see what's in the school libraries. Like I said, this for me is the best thing, is just be able to go through by your state standards and see what's there.
Okay.
And the different strands,
Mm-hmm.
6th grade math, you have all the different standards here, and then see.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So like here are all using variables to represent quantities,
Mm-hmm.
all under 6th grade math. So like I said, you can see what's there. You can also, if you go to library, you can search just by resource type. Like if you just want a virtual reality thing, you can search by that. You can search by different publishers. So, by Desmos, this is Crash Course. They have different videos. So they have 16 lessons already set up, pre-made. And there are a bunch of different ones. And we have all of these now because we have paid accounts.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's NearPod. The cool thing too, you can do sub plans, so that you'll create an assignment.
Okay.
And it will automatically launch for you in student paced mode when you're not there. So
okay.
You could, and then you just.
Okay. I couldn't figure out what you were typing there.
Oh, it's just emergency. And then you can search your library for what you want and then add it in, and you can choose what class. You could go to multiple classes, and then you could type in what your substitute needs to know, and it's there and ready to go for your sub.
Okay.
And then you just send sub plans. So yeah, so there's a lot in NearPod that you can get into it. And I think it's, especially if you're because you're going to be doing, some students are going to be remote and some students are going to be live, correct? For middle school?
I'm assuming that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And then wide range of ages.
Yeah, your audio's back to to slowing down there. So I didn't quite hear what you were saying.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think, is that on a Chromebook?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, that's typically what happens with the Chromebooks. I think Google Meet is probably better for Chromebooks if you're doing those when you do school. But yeah, So do you have any questions about NearPod?
No, it's